We do love you, Leeds. Hey up, everyone. Welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds. Can you even imagine for one fucking minute? Nope, I cannot. Hope you all doing well. It's been an alright start to the week for me. Monday. This is my fourth live in a row. My word, what am I playing at? Love this. Absolutely love this community. Please smash a like on. Please subscribe if you're new here. If you're not new here and you're still not subscribed, what are you doing? How many clowns in the bucket house do you get to see at 10 o'clock at night other than me? Largie Ramazani, I wanted to touch on this tonight. You all know, if you're familiar with me on this channel, I'm an absolute fanboy of the guy. Absolutely love him. Hopefully one day brings out an OF link and I'll be over there like a shot. So the guy is him and Sam Byron. You know, I love him on this channel. But yeah, a lot of rumours circulating today. And I know a lot of people have said it's probably BS from where the links have come out. Heavily linked to Rangers on loan, or, you know, do we look to sell him? There's a lot to sort of dive into when it comes to Ramazani. I think there's a lot of opinions on him. How good is he? How high is his ceiling? Is he unhappy at Leeds? There's plenty of, you know, it depends what side of the coin you sort of sit on with Ramazani and how good you think he is. And but we're going to dive into it all. Let's get into chat and see who's here. I have put in, I'm interested to know how you feel. I have put in on a poll. If Leeds United don't sign Solomon, would you be happy with Ramazani as your first choice winger? I'm really intrigued to see what you guys say on that one. So I'll keep popping that in the poll, and I'm going to bang another poll in soon as well. I'm going to give it maybe 20 minutes and put another question in about Ramazani. But yeah, let's get into it. Gavin, evening, Matty. Gavin, hope you're well. Hate to say it, but the scum are cooking Kuna. Yeah, you know what it is, mate. They're good players for small sides, mate, and I like them both. If I'm honest, in my opinion, I think Kuna's going to be a flop. I think Mbeumo's a great player. I really like him, but I don't know how they can do it. It must be top 16 bias rather than top 6 bias. I don't really know how they're able to spend that sort of money, mate, considering the mess they're in. But whether you like them or not, it goes to show where they are as a club now. They're having to buy players from Wolves and Brentford as opposed to attracting the best players in the world. But yeah, I like Mbeumo, whatever it's called. But Kuna, I'm not sure on, mate. Like I say, both like the best players in a smaller side. But be interesting to see how they get on, buddy. I think we finish above them. Main man's wrap up, mate. Largie ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I agree with you, buddy. Tezza, how you doing, my friend? The 78 RPM saviour, Largie is likely one of the last we will sell. There's no PSR profit there yet. What do we pay from a bat? Yeah, we're in around 9-10 million, I think. 100% right, mate. There's a couple of players who would sell. I say a couple, of a hell of a lot of players would sell before Ramazan. There's no PSR profit. If you sell him, you're down 2 wingers. You've got to go buy 2 more. Wingers, apart from having to hopefully bring in Solomon or having to replace Solomon, I don't think there's an argument that, any of those players are Premier League level players. Whether you think Ramazani and Nonto are starters or not, I don't think there's many teams outside that sort of top 10 who'd have that depth. I think, when you look at your Evertons and they had Jack Harrison starting games, he wouldn't even, he would get nowhere near our side if he even stays at Leeds or not. He's not good enough. The wingers we've got at Championship level have been fantastic, and I think all 4 of them, hopefully we get Solomon, are all brilliant depth for a Premier League side that's just been promoted. So Matty's late, he must put on his makeup. You know me, mate. May up, Danny, smash a like. We love you, Matty. Yeah, Danny's putting in the usual links. Please check them out. I say it every video, and he bangs them in every video, but I can't stress enough. Please check out my mates. Passion for Leeds, Wilco Whites, and Danny will be in here somewhere. That he is. It is BS. I know who started the rumour. Yeah, no, I know, mate. Hey up, Eddie. Hope you're well, buddy. Go check out Eddie as well. Tinkan 1919. Please go check him out. Rusty Tinkan 1919. Bill Hickey. Duncan, how you doing? Pat me groin. Yeah, there's loads of them like that in there. Evening, Matty. See Bellingham leaving Sunderland for Dortmund. Yeah, mate. There's been rumours he's going to Germany for a while. I'm surprised. I won't lie. But then again, is it a surprise? Staying at Sunderland and being a relegation fight? I'll go to Dortmund and try and emulate your brother. Big shoes to fill, but yeah, I just thought you give it a crack when you get promoted. But yeah, it's a tough one. Man United, how desperate they are signing these players in hope. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Hey up, Jamie. Daryl Harris, yes, lad. Hope you're well. Good to catch you on live. Yeah, cheers, Daryl. Thanks for being here, buddy. I think this is Largie's breakthrough season. Last season was just a cameo. I hope so, mate. I do hope so. Hey up, Mark. Hope you're well, buddy. We need to maximise the Rangers' relationship. Send Joseph on loan, sell Harrison Grew after them. Yeah, I mean, the Joseph one and the Harrison one, I'd be well on board. And I could see that happening, you know. I really could. Even if you end up loaning Harrison, it is what it is, mate. I don't want to see him in a Leeds shirt, so thanks a lot, buddy. Cheers, Danny. So let's get into it. So Largie Ramazani. Honestly, you know, I can talk about this guy all day. I really can. But I've got a friend who knows a person whose cat once got bit by a dog, who then went to vet, and the vet's wife told my mate who had a cockatoo that it's one of them. You know what I mean? It's not really. So I know a friend of mine, can't tell his name, but it's one of them, you see, where this could still happen. Obviously, it could go. My mate isn't. You can't guarantee 100% what you told, can you? But I have a friend who played for a professional club. If you look back at Largie Ramazani's career, you'd probably be able to see where. Came through the academy with Largie Ramazani. Shared digs with him. Has known him from being young. Speaks to him most days, definitely on a weekly basis. I've known this for only a couple of days, to be fair. I've known this a lot a few months, but only known this last few days. But I know he played at a really good level. This lad didn't make it, and now he's I think I can't go into what he does, but he isn't a professional footballer, unfortunately. But he came through the system with Largie Ramazani, and I asked him today, I was a little bit cheeky, can you send him a message, see what's going on? He ain't going to tell you now. And he said, yeah, I'll ask him. And he actually sent back a photo of himself on a private jet and then put, I have been to Scotland recently. And I was like, oh my God. And then he left a steward on it for about 10 minutes. And it turned out he did actually send that to my mate. As we know what he's like. He's a bit of a joker. And then he sent back, I'm just messing with you. I ain't going nowhere. And I know for a fact that this person who was a friend of mine did go through at an early age with him and is friends with him. So obviously that doesn't rule him out definitely going, because anything could change. Money, discussions with club. But right now, the stories that he's potentially going anywhere, and especially to Rangers right now, is 100% false. 100% false. And like I say, that doesn't change what could happen in future. But I was bricking it when I started hearing these rumours. And I know it's BS, but I are too involved in Twitter and looking who's credible. And that's what Priestley does all that digging for me. But it was nice to be able, when I heard rumours, to be able to reach out to my mate and go, can you just, have you heard out? And send him a message. And he got that back. And I had 10 minutes thinking, oh my God. And then it just proved how much of a joker Largie is. He's a larger than life character. So like I said, to hear it from someone who actually knows him on a personal level, that put me at ease, and yeah, all those sort of channels and people who've been chatting today saying it's BS, I can sort of confirm it is BS right now. But like I say, outside that, there's a lot to sort of dissect when it comes to him anyway, in terms of he stays at Leeds. Does he become first choice winger if we get Solomon or not? Does he want to stay at Leeds with how many minutes he got last season? Does Farke trust him? Is he a Farke player? There's a lot of question marks for him going forward. But it was nice to sort of hear from sort of the horse's mouth that it is just rumours and it's a load of BS. So I was happy about that. Smash a like and subscribe to our Matty. Cheers, Jamie. Yeah, please like, please subscribe. Hey up, Clem. I'm well, mate. Hope you are too, buddy. Daryl Harris. I think next season we need to go 4-3-3. Tanaka in the middle with two strong midfielders either side. I think just Ampadu and Tanaka in the middle won't be strong enough. Farke must use bench better. Agree with all that, Daryl. Agree with all that, mate. You know, ball. Yeah, I've seen that link as well, buddy. We'll have to see. One I've not heard of until today, but I'm sure we'll learn about him again. Evening, Bud. Evening, Jazzbeer. Hope you're all right, buddy. Donny Keys, hey up, mate. I'd be very happy with Pope, Longstaff, Calmuendo, and this new link. Pack South from Feyenoord would be a very good window. Who's a winger like too? Yeah. To be fair, mate, some of those names I'd be happy with too. Pope, Longstaff, and Callum Wendo, I'd be buzzing with them, mate. No questions asked. Larger stays at Leeds and Saudi coming and offering 40 million. Yeah, stranger things have happened, pal. Stranger things have happened. Let me just have a quick look at this. I'm intrigued to see this. 33 votes. Yes, everybody would be pleased by the looks of it, or 90% here would be pleased for Ramazani to start the season as first choice if we don't sign Solomon. That's enough for me. I want to ask another question. I'm banging another one on there. One sec. Start another poll. I kind of thought that'd be a little bit more split than that. And I'm happy it's not. I'm glad everyone in the house is a Largie Ramazani fan. This is an interesting one, though. Right. Whose ceiling is higher, Cree or Largie? Watching Joe Wayman's stream earlier, and I think he thinks it's a bit ludicrous if anyone if anyone does think that he's got more potential than Cree Somerville. I'm one of them who thinks he's got way better potential, to be honest, than Cree Somerville. And I don't want people to vote with their Leeds hat on because Cree Somerville left us and people said he was lazy towards end and this and that. Like, put your impartial hat on. Who's potentially going to go further in the game? Cree Somerville or Largie Ramazani? Really intrigued to see how this one goes, because a lot of people say it's wild to suggest that Large is better than Cree. Evening all. Hey up, Jay. I've gone yes on potential alone. I picked no for shits and gigs. Largie, miles better. I was going to say yes to Largie too, but missed the vote because I'm lagging. Donny, for me, Cree was a bit more of a one-trick pony. Worked amazing in the Championship, but cutting in the Prem is a lot harder. Largie again. Yeah, it is, mate. I don't understand how anyone would. You know what it is, right? Let me break it down to you. So when I look at, don't really matter about the comparison, but it comes up quite a lot because let's be fair, we signed Largie Ramazani as a direct replacement for Cree Somerville. Did Somerville have a better season 2 seasons ago than Largie last season? Yes, numbers wise, he did. Right, Cree Somerville, you can't pour cold water and what he did for us. You know, his moments are brilliant. Got us out some holes and won us points on his own. 21 goals in all competitions, 10 assists, 31 GNA in 49 games. I think it won in total. Outstanding season, gets played at year, right? But I've seen people say we haven't seen that sort of quality or that sort of performances on a regular basis by Ramazani, right? I hear you. Daniel Farker hadn't picked him. What I want to know from you guys as well is, let me know in chat, right? You've got to apply context. Yeah, mate. Yes, I am. You've got to apply context to every situation, right? And some people apply context where they want to apply context and don't apply it elsewhere, right? So let's put it this way. When 2 seasons ago, Somerville was our starting left winger, only because we sold Luis Sinisterra, right? Luis Sinisterra is a Premier League winger. Manor Solomon is a Premier League winger. If Sinisterra would have stayed at Leeds 2 seasons ago, Somerville would have had the same amount of minutes if you take away any injuries that Sinisterra would have had. But say he'd have played the same amount of minutes as Solomon, Sinisterra would have started over Somerville, and Somerville wouldn't have had the season he had last year. Similar to what Ramazani had this year, 100%. Same as if Somerville 2 years ago would have had Solomon playing in front of him. Somerville wouldn't have displaced Solomon. Don't care what anybody says. So there's the context there. It's not a level playing field. Somerville had Anthony to fight for that left wing spot. Ramazani's had Solomon. Does that mean he's shite because he hadn't displaced Solomon? Not at all. Up until the injury against Watford at home, Ramazani's stats were unreal. He'd started the season off and he was our best player after 5 or 6 games. By a country mile. But the context is, he's had Solomon to fight for his place with. Somerville had Anthony. There's context straight away. Again, to add to that, To add to that, Somerville were playing alongside Rutter. Such a lot more creative than what we've seen our players have this season alongside Brendan Amundsen. I'd love to get your thoughts on that. I don't think it's a level playing field in terms of what we've seen these last 2 seasons. So when people compare the two, I don't think it's fair unless you apply that context to it. I think if it wasn't for Solomon's form being at such a high level at times, Ramazani would have had more minutes. You'd have seen more. You'd have seen numbers similar to Somerville. I mean, Ramazani is registering a goal or an assist every 82 minutes. It's an outstanding goals and assists to minutes ratio. You can't deny that. He's been outstanding in the minutes we've seen him play. Off the bench, he's not as effective, granted. Would Somerville have been as good off the bench if he'd have been coming on for 20 minutes? I would have said not. Let's get into some of the comments. See if you agree. Or am I just talking shite? I like to do a bit of that, you know me. Largie has a bit more flair. Somerville only really cutting from the right and would shoot. There's more build-up play with Largie and his link-up play is better. I agree, Darryl. I agree. And it's easy to say because he plays for Leeds and Somerville don't. And Somerville ended. Everyone wanted him gone. They weren't bothered. They knew we'd get an all right fee for him. People say he checked out towards the end of the season, so he lost a lot of love, did Cree, the way it sort of ended. But if you put that aside and go look what he did for us for a year, it was brilliant for us. It was brilliant. He got your ass off at seat, didn't he? If you were sat down in the top of the stand like me and not stood up in one of the more ruckus stands. But it was outstanding with Cree. But in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, I think Ramazani is better. I think he's been unlucky. With injury and unlucky that he's been fighting for that starting spot with Manor Solomon, who's one of the best wingers you'll see in this division, in that division. You won't see many more at Solomon's quality playing that division. Let's be fair, he only played for Leeds United last season to get minutes in his legs with a view of playing Premier League football next year. Because if we want to go up, it may not come to us anyway. I think he does, in my opinion. But we don't go up, he don't come to Leeds United. He goes to Premier League or a top 5 league somewhere else. He's there just to get minutes in legs, and it worked. It was a great signing for us, great signing for him. Yeah, 100%, not taking anything away from him. He was class, but it was Somerville FC down the wing, I think, as a football largest. But yeah, and some people say that's wild, Donny, based on the fact that he hasn't played many minutes because Farke hasn't played him for whatever reason. And obviously, Chris Somerville absolutely smashed it under Farke. But context is, he didn't have Solomon to fight for his shirt with. If he'd have had Sinister stay, for me, he wouldn't have been starting Somerville. He wouldn't have been starting. Yeah, go check out my mate Boss Nass's channel as well, Seasiders TV. If you want a bit of non-league content, really good guy, really good content over there. Go check him out. Not seen enough of Ramazani yet, but I'd like to see more. I think he's got a lot. Eddie 100% has got a lot to offer. He's a talent. You know, when you're playing for Almeria out in Spain and you go into Bernabeu and you're scoring against Real Madrid, this guy's got pedigree. We've seen enough to know how good he is in the minutes we've seen him. We want to see more from him, of course. But like I say, the G&A, you can't argue with it. It's the best in the division, but it's easier when it's a small sample size to obviously have those sort of numbers. Yeah, he played one game and scored an hat-trick and never played again the rest of the season. It'd be some stats that won it, but so I understand the more games you play. Then Somerville played 49 in total and had a 31 G&A. Outstanding. But the context is, like I say, he had Rutter to his right-hand side. He had Anthony fighting. You know, Anthony, let's be fair, last season was the Ramazani this season in terms of what, you know, the trust Farke had in him. But that don't mean Ramazani's as good or as poor as Jayden Anthony. I'm sure we'd all agree Ramazani's a lot better player than Jayden Anthony. A lot better. Streets ahead. Just because Farke didn't play him that much, don't mean he's a poor player at all. Seemingly there was rumours in the background with Cree while he was at Leeds, but you don't know until Ram starts or plays in the Premier. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how do you make the step up to Premier League when you haven't played minutes in the Championship under the same manager? How does that manager how does that club see a vital role for you in the Premier League when they haven't in the Championship? That's a question I've been playing in my head. All right, mate, and everyone in here, just smash the like for you, mate. I'm really not sure on that question like Largie or Cree. Are you like that with that one, Philip? Have a look. Whose ceiling is higher? Largest quality and even better if he likes red sauce. That's it, Richard. You know me, but I love that, mate. Cheers. Okay, Largie has more to give. We've not seen the best of Largie. Cree not really having a banging season as yet. My brother-in-law is a hammer ticket, season ticket. Tells me why I say Largie. There you go, mate. There you go. Context is key. Might people switch narrative to suit their own. Yeah, of course I do. We all do from time to time. I don't, but people do, don't they? Andy, largely because Cree was effectively a one-trick pony. Yeah, you know what it is though, Andy? Everyone's going to say that about Cree, yeah, and he was, right? But it's all right being a one-trick pony and everyone knowing what you're going to do, but it's another thing stopping you. So to be fair, as much as he was, cut onto it right, top bins, it was still effective. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's a criticism, but it's also a strength. It worked. And for people to know what you're going to do and you be that good at it that it doesn't matter that they know you're going to go cut onto your right foot and you can still beat that defender. It's credit to Cree. He's brilliant at it. You know, he's a brilliant talent. He's gone to the Premier League and he's had, let's be fair, he's had the season I expected him to have at West Ham. In and out side, a few knocks, try to get up to the physicality of it. He's going to pick up odd injury. He isn't going to set the world alight. There'll be games where he's on bench. There'll be odd game he starts. And there'll be games where he doesn't even met bench. And it's been a mixture of all of those things really for Cree. I did not expect him to go to Hammers and have a great season. I did not. They ain't a great side anyway. I did not see him going there and doing big numbers. I saw him staying at Leeds and doing a similar season to last season. I did because I think Championship is an outstanding Championship player. Premier League, I'm not too sure. Largie Ramazani, I'm not too sure. But what I'll say is, I mean, I am sure on Largie Ramazani, but we're not too sure. In my opinion, he'll be brilliant. In my opinion, if he gets given minutes. But in my opinion, he'd have been a great Championship option. We just didn't see enough of him. So it's hard to compare because the minutes are just streets apart of what one played to the other. In the Champo, hey up, Philip. In the Champo, he has to be Cree. Just due to his playing time, but Cree in the Prem, he hasn't been amazing, and we haven't seen Largie in the Prem. No, I know. Thing is, based on stats, it depends how you look at it, because based on the volume of games Cree played and his stats, 31 GNA and 49 appearances in all competitions, smashes all over Largie. But that was still one goal involvement every 125 minutes. Largie's stats gives him a goal involvement in every 82 minutes. Miles better per 90 than Cree, but a smaller sample size, so it's easier to get that sort of total as opposed to Cree being over nearly 50 games. But obviously, Largie Ramazani can't do out about those minutes. People say he should have come off a bench and made more of an impact. Coming back from injury, being in and out the side, it is difficult. We've seen people do it. Pinner at start of season, force his way in. You've got to do that with the minutes. We saw towards the end of the season that those 2 goals towards the end, the way he were impacting games. It were working with Ramazani. It looked like he were getting to that spot. Season probably ended too early for Ramazani, if we're honest. He looked somewhat like his best, and then we saw his celebrations. He definitely looks like someone who wants to be here. But on the other hand, I don't think he deserved to there were a 4-game spell where he didn't see a minute. He didn't see a minute on pitch. I don't think he deserved that either, no matter how good Solomon were playing. I agree with Matty, but you still talk shite, lol. I do, mate. Only joking. Love you, lad. Yeah, man. Love that. I still love Cree too. Yeah, and that's fine, mate. That season, he gave us some great moments. He was outstanding. Cree got worked out, though. Down the left, try to cut him with his right foot. Yeah, Jay did try, but a lot of time it worked, didn't it? Matty looks a lot nicer without the moustache. Do you think, mate? I really don't. Thank you, though, Jamie. Thank you, mate. You're a lovely man, you know. You always make me feel good. Hey up, Kevin. Jamie has a look of Noel Whelan. With Cree, the team was one-dimensional. With Largie, we are multi-dimensional. Yeah, but you have to agree on the whole when you apply the context of who we were fighting for his position with. Do we believe Somerville would have had the season he had if we'd have kept Sinistera? We can all say Sinistera's shy. He's got injuries. He'd have had his opportunity with Somerville because of the injuries. Fair enough. We could have said that about Solomon. Solomon didn't really get injured, did he, this season? Not to the level we expected. Is he going to get through as many games? Once Solomon were in, really, we're in money. if Sinisterra would have stayed at Leeds and not picked up any injuries, which he would have done, but hypothetically speaking, please, Somerville wouldn't have played 49 games. He wouldn't have done. He'd have played probably similar 800 minutes, probably similar to what we've seen off Ramazani. It's all speculative, I know. But the difference in having Sinisterra to having Anthony as your rival for that spot is chalk and cheese, isn't it? Ayop May, Ayop Aaron, difficult to change a winning team. Solomon ended up being a hard worker than I expected. So in the end, a good. Yeah, to be fair, he did, mate. Wasn't even just his talent, was it? Which we know's there. Solomon was just so hard to sort of display. So there was a period, wasn't there, when we started bottling it a little bit, when we were falling apart and all that shit. When we went 1-win 6, I think it was. I remember the Swansea game at home. Solomon looked way off it. There was a little spell, wasn't there, where Solomon's form dipped and our form dipped. And that was the time where I expected Largie to come in. And he stuck with Solomon. And he were right to do so, because after that, we kicked on again, didn't we? And we didn't lose a game. And the rest is history, as they say. But in my opinion, Ramazani would have give you similar to what Solomon give you, is what I'm sort of getting at. And I know it's all speculative and I'm probably just waffling shit, but in my opinion, and I love Solomon, and Solomon was a game changer in a lot of games, and he gets us a goal that makes us lift that trophy. But in my opinion, Ramazani would have been just as effective. Once he got in and played minutes, you saw Solomon start slow and build into it. Ramazani didn't really get that opportunity to start a bulk of games and build his way back into it after his injury. Let's just have a quick look at. I'll share my screen a minute. Have a look here. So he didn't play the first game. He went in the squad. We hadn't signed him. I think he played the first game of the season for Almere, and he scored in that one appearance, one goal for Almere. And then obviously he comes in a couple of sub appearances, Hull and Burnley. That Burnley game still pisses me off. Obviously 16 minutes, 12 minutes. Then he comes in. Then Cardiff. Goal, that one where he's played through one goal, left foot, curls it round, it's post and goes in, great finish. We're all there, like basically his first decent appearance, first start, and we're like, wow, what have we got here? What a player. Coventry gets an assist, Norwich gets a goal, get absolutely flying at this point. And then obviously he gets one against Watford. If anyone were there, I remember that goal. He did a Somerville, he cut onto his right foot from left, hit it at keeper, then and keeper spilled it in his own net, did a mez. Then he picked up that injury 14 minutes in. I think we're 2-0 up, and Watford really put us on back burner there. We're lucky to come out of that with a 2-1 win. I was nervous all that game after going 2-0 up. But ankle injury kept him out for a bit, and then like you say, then you look at that then, and his minutes are just, he's on bench, don't come on, 6 minutes, 21 minutes, 5 minutes, 25, 16, 14, 71, on bench, don't come on again, back-to-back games. I mean, look at minutes, he's playing 7, 16, 19, 19, 12, 13. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but how are you supposed to get any momentum and build any sort of minutes up in that? I mean, Sheffield Wednesday there, he gets a goal and assist there in 7 minutes, but the general rule of thumb is you need 20, 30 minutes, don't you, to get into game. Some of these games, he's getting less than 15 minutes. Again, 22 minutes, 6, 18, on the bench, unused for 4 games in a row. That stint there, I couldn't believe it. Don't get me wrong, we picked it up after that, didn't we? That Luton draw, that way I really thought wheels had fallen off. If I'm honest, after you look at that run there, after the highs of beating Sheffield United 3-1, which what a game that was. That's one foot memory bank in it. But the West Brom draw, Portsmouth loss, then you got the Millwall win, then you got QPR, Swansea. We went 1-win 6, and then you go 4 games on bench. But yeah, we turned it round there, and we didn't look back, and we absolutely smashed it, didn't we? That from Middlesbrough onwards, it was unbelievable. But when you look at the minutes he's played, it's hard to sort of suggest he should have done any better. But you look at that, 8 goals, 2 assists in 1,053 minutes. It's a great return. It's a fantastic return for minutes he's played. 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 G&A in only 783 championship minutes. It's a goal every 82 minutes. A goal or assist every 82 minutes. The 29 appearances don't do him justice, because some of these were a minute, some of them were 15 minutes, 19 minutes, 8 minutes, 783 minutes. But 8 games. It's don't make for great viewing the amount of minutes he played. And when you look at it, he was only actually injured really for them 4 games. He missed 4 games due to injury. Then he could not get back in. And that isn't down to his levels for me. That's solely down to Solomon's levels. And the fact that Farke doesn't like changing a winning team. And to be fair, he had every right not to change that winning team. Every right not to. But I think it's important because a lot of people probably don't look at the detail when it comes to Ramazani. There's a lot of detail and a lot of context needs to be applied. When you look at the minutes he's played there, it's not many. It's not many. Not many at all. No average player scores at the Bernabeu. We have a proper player on our hands. We do, mate. 100% we do. We really do. Largie is one of the 7 we currently have that I believe I will be able to step up to the mate, 100%. 100%. I think he's top draw. I know he's 24. He's not 19, 20. He's not like a really high-flying prospect. He's a decent age now. He's got decent pedigree. He's played over 100 games in La Liga. I say scored at Bernabeu. He's now going to get Premier League experience for me. He ain't going to leave. Obviously, we've already touched on that, but he ain't going to leave a Premier League side to go play in Scotland for me. He isn't. Will he be worried about the minutes again? I would assume so. We know Farke as much as we love him right now. I guarantee you all the little niggles and annoying parts of his game. And like I always say, you can love someone and still see faults. I love our lass, but she grinds me gears. As we all do with everybody, you know. But a lot of them will be highlighted in Prem. Ramazani has a lot of fans at Leeds. A lot of people back him. Everyone loves him. I mean, even as a bloke, what a guy he is, you know, life and soul, innit? Definitely looks happy. But when it comes down to the minutes he's playing, he won't be happy. He ain't happy at that. 100% he ain't happy at how many minutes he played last season. He can't be. He can't be. He's a footballer. He wants to play minutes. But he loves the club. He loves the city. He loves his teammates. 86 in the chat. 98 in the chat now, Jammy. I'm well behind on chat as usual. 10 minutes behind. But please stick a like on and please subscribe if you know it. It would mean a lot. I've got a few new names in here tonight I've not seen before. So please subscribe. I think Pinot is going to be a surprise. Yeah, me too. A lot of people say based on what? And I say based on just my fucking opinion. Shut up. I think he'll do all right, Pinot. I do. I think he'll do fine. But he needs someone else to partner him, mate, and push. He does. Oh, Danny Talksport, what are you sending me messages for? You're watching, you know I'm live, mate. You know I'm live. Oh, what's this? Just Danny sending me private jets booked in for Wednesday. Let's not brush around the edges here, Farke. Not what I want this to happen. Could be sacked. Oh, I don't want to see the sacked word, Donny. Don't want to 10 games and Largie finds a way in, or Largie takes it up a level with it now being in Prem. I think it takes it up a level. You know what it is? You can't. It's hard to imagine someone not getting minutes in Championship under a manager, having the same manager and getting minutes in Prem, right? But I don't think there's an argument for him not being good in Prem because he was good in Championship. Can he make a step up? Why not? Nonto were better in Prem than he'd been in Championship. Why can't Largie Ramazani be effective in Premier League? 100% he will be for me. Evening, Matty, back from Jim. Look at you dropping Jim in there. Look at you. My answer is Largie, easy top player. So look how that's coming on anywhere. 56 votes, 20% say Cree, 80% say Largie Ramazani. It's mental. It's a madness, you know. Madness saying he's got a ceiling. Oh, I love you, Joe. But yeah, I didn't think I'd be only one. My ceiling's high, but I am short, so everything looks high to me. Yeah, it does, mate. Jammy, Matty getting good numbers. Yeah, Jammy, it's going well, isn't it, buddy? Really proud of what I've achieved with this channel so far. Really proud of the community. It's a very, it's not, no toxicity. I can't even speak me half the time. No, there's no toxic people in my chat either. It's a really nice space, to be fair. It's a really nice space. I'm a little wobble over there because, you know, there's always a little bit out there, isn't there? But it is a nice space. I've created something really good here with you guys. I love it. Some place suit the Prem better than the Championship. Willie, there you go. I just said that, mate. 100%. I expect them both to kick on, and they need to really. They both need to kick on. And can Dan James do it in Prem? I fully believe he can. Let's have Nonto right up his arse. So let's have Nonto pushing Dan James more than he has done, you know, this last 2 years. Like he got better, did Nonto, as the season drew to an end. Ramazani got better as the season drew to an end, but that happens with more minutes. I think Farke saw Solomon was better against a low block, but no Prem team will be playing a low block against us. Yeah, true. You know what it is, mate? We're gonna need a spark. Solomon provides that as well with the quality. But Ramazani, for me, is that Julian Crown. He's that X Factor player. You know, we lost that way with Rutter, and you got a sound sort of like cog in the engine in Aronson who went through his work methodically, did all the stuff he can do well, but wasn't that attractive player on the eye who can create some out of nothing as well as he did at times. Ramazani is that player. Whether he plays on left, which is his position, I guess, whether you can play him on right, whether he can play in 10, there's all these permutations. For me, last season, he was too good to leave out, but the players around him and in the squad were that good, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. If we wouldn't have got promotion and you'd have listed down even just 5 bullet points of why you think we missed out, Largie Ramazani only getting 800 minutes would have been on most people's list, regardless of what Solomon had done. Most people would have said if we hadn't got promoted, one of the main reasons we didn't get promoted would have been Farke's lack of use of Ramazani. It's a bugbear of mine. It's one of my points I look at. If I'm going to be a little bit negative, I look at Farke and I go, how did you not get the best out of a player like that? And I know it's side before self and one player don't make a team and all that. I get that. But like, if I were to be super critical and look at it, it doesn't matter, obviously. And I love Solomon. To be critical would be that. You know, he failed to get the most out of a player who, for me, would have probably been the best player in any other side out of the other side in the division. Doesn't PSR FFP reset in July? Yeah, Skip, it does. Chatting today on our group chat, on our members group chat, and we were chatting about that, me and Adam off Late Night Leeds, and we were saying, like, does that affect signings in June? You know, the window's opened and we're all buzzing, thinking we'll sign players. But yeah, the PSR end of year and all that stuff, it happens at the end of June. So technically it resets from 1st of July. So does that have implications? The Leeds might not do much in June? Maybe not. I don't know. But it resets on 1st of July, mate, yeah. As good as Somerville was for us, he was a one-trick pony. He had to cut in on his right. Yeah, he did, mate. Premier League, they aren't gonna fall for it. Championship level, they know what you're gonna do. It was still good enough to beat them and do it, and he was fantastic at it. Premier League, it's gonna be more difficult, isn't it? The no mugs, obviously, because of Premier League defenders. Take all those likes for Matty. Yeah, please take a like on. Please subscribe if you don't mind. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to become a member and join our WhatsApp group, you can do. It's been funny crack on there today. We had Boss Nass from Seaside's TV join. I think we've got 8 on there now. I think we've got 9 in total, but I used my other account to become a member of my own channel just to check it worked because I didn't think Link were working. So technically I pay money every month to my own. Yeah, it's daft really, but there's 8. 8 of us, and yeah, it's a nice little tight little knit group over there. We have some really good banter on it. Mike's always banging in his transfer rumours. Priest is always saying it's a load of bullshit. We have a good laugh, and then it always turns onto something daft as well. So yeah, if anyone wants to become a member and join that WhatsApp group, that'd be highly recommended. Look what happened to Ben Rama when he went to Hammers. He was very underwhelming. Yeah, it happens, mate. It happens. It was no surprise to me that it didn't work out for some people there, but it might still work out. Maybe his second year will be. I bet you are, Jamie. I bet you are, buddy. Love that, mate. Cracking biscuit as well, you, mate. You're a cracking biscuit. Brett Joy, new listener. Good evening, mate. Great content. Cheers, Brett. Much appreciated, mate. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. I'm a bit behind on chat. I always am, but I try and get through it best I can. Much appreciated. But yeah, I'm a massive Ramazani fan, buddy. Maybe I'll have to do a stream on Sam Byram as well, my second favourite player. So maybe it's a way around, actually. Ramazani not get the injury, I doubt Solomon would. Yeah, that's the thing when you look at it like that as well, mate. As good as Solomon is, and I know in training he'll show it, and I know everyone knows calibre at player, but I do feel like under Farke, if you do it on pitch, he'll stick with you, regardless of how good he knows you are. Because let's be fair, he knows how good Ramazani is. He knows how good he is. Yeah, he still can get a look in. He doesn't change your winning side usually. And when he likes you, he likes you. And if you don't fancy it, or regardless of that, if you like someone, it's going to be hard for you to overtake that player, regardless. You could come in and do a really good performance. He's still probably going to be out next game until he has a succession of games. And when he does, you've got to come in and hit the ground. And like Pedro did with Joseph, you have to do it in the minutes you get given. And it went hard for Largie off the bench. For whatever reason, he just couldn't get into it. But like I say, when you look through his minutes, there weren't many minutes there to actually get involved. I like the involvement of you asking for our opinions and giving your explanations from your side. Never I read misdebate, just an opinion with speculative justification. Mate, you're banging some words in there, mate. You know what you're doing, Andy, with authenticity. Cheers for that, buddy. You know me, mate. I'm not with Art Chat, to be fair. I'm not with Art Chat. I really are. I do a little bit of research, but I don't do much, you know me. I skim the surface and then I, I expect you guys to help me. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, Jamie, please stick a like on, like I say, man, much appreciated. Good evening. Has there been any new incomings as yet? But I appreciate it. Yeah, it's still early days, Brett. Nothing, and I don't expect out in the next few days. It would have been nice to get Solomon. Surely Solomon and a keeper for me, and maybe a left back if Joe Blackburn right with his Simicast story, which I hope he is. They'd be the three I'm sort of thinking. Get Solomon boxed off. If Simicast is close, get that done. Get a goalkeeper done, and then we can relax a little bit. But in back of my mind now, I'm starting to look at that date now, thinking, yeah, transfer window's opened in June, great, but the PSR don't reset till 1st of July, another 4 weeks away. Does that have implications for us now? Maybe it doesn't. I spoke to Jer earlier, and look at me dropping that. I spoke to Jer earlier. Me and Jer were voice noting, and he doesn't think it impacts as chance to sell now with the money we've got going up and stuff like that. He thinks we can go out there and buy, but he also doesn't expect massive, huge incomings in the coming days, which we were all hoping for. We're all hoping for 1st of June that, we'll have something in pipeline. And especially when you consider, we got promoted early in terms of what we used to. Obviously, season's only just ended with Champions League this last week and Premier League fixtures week before, playoff final last weekend. We were in playoffs last year. It drags on a few more weeks. We got promoted a few weeks before end of season. So we've been promoted now on a month. Won title a few weeks back as well. And it's like we had a month. It felt like we had like a month extra to wait. And then you get to the 1st of June. And if it doesn't happen early and it rumbles on, it feels like a bit of a missed opportunity if we aren't able to get signings in. Because we've had so long, we'll have had a list all season or coming to the end of the year if we don't go up, we've got this list for Championship, which will have been a hard bit of pill to swallow, obviously, and it would have been a lot less quality. Then you've got a list where you think, right, this is the dream scenario where we get promoted. These are players we're looking at. That Championship list got put in bin a while back. And it's a shame that we haven't been able to get anyone sort of over the line and I say we haven't. Who knows? Maybe this stuff being done in the background and in the coming days we'll get some news, but it looks unlikely that that's going to happen. I'm just hoping they've done, they've had the conversations, they've got people in pipeline who are sort of ready, but it's hard because everyone's on their holidays. We had players just jetting off on their holidays now, haven't you? The free transfers, they're still in contract till 30th of June. They are available to officially sign for you till 1st of July again. Yeah, there can probably be pre-contracts and chats leading up to that, but still officially 1st of July is when you can be like sort of officially announced as a Leeds United player or anyone else. So it's a bit, we've been in limbo really, haven't we, with how early we got promoted. And when our players have been to Vegas, we've seen pictures and videos a couple of weeks back. Currently teams just going there now, just going on the jollies now. So it's been a bit of a mad one for Leeds. We've had to wait a little bit longer. So our like post-season just feels a little bit dragged out. We're already ready for Prem, but the season's only really just ended. Solomon was promised minutes. Yeah, of course we were, Richard. Of course he was. How do you compete with, we've got a really good relationship with Tottenham as a club, and we can see that, with Archie, with Rodon, with obviously Solomon, and we ain't going to want to mess that up, especially when they know, if it works out, we probably will be looking at Solomon as a perm for next season if we go. We'll have always known that we're an option. Every player we've brought in on loan what's worked, we've wanted him, Ben White, Rodon. If it works, we want him, don't we? So we know it was probably going to happen if we went up, and we enjoyed seeing Solomon, he played well. So we'll have wanted to keep that relationship well. We won't have wanted the same scenario to when we had Eddie and Nketiah, where he won't get the minutes because Bielsa's weren't going to see that right, and would have never been able to sign him because he just wouldn't come because he knew he wasn't going to get minutes. Whereas with Solomon, whether he had to do it or not, he did it, and it meant it's an easier conversation to have now about signing him because Solomon knows he'll play. Simple as he knows he'll play. Yeah, 100%, mate. Excited for Ramadan Prem. I think it suits him better than the champ. Agreed, he needs more minutes next season, yeah. But will he get it? Aaron, will he get it? It's hard to guarantee when he didn't get it in champ. Ramazani at one side and Nonto at the other, then Vardy up front, yeah. Yeah, but I said I'd have Vardy as third choice. Third choice. Maybe third choice. I want Pinot to stay. And yeah, a lot of people weren't having that. But I'd have him as third choice. I wouldn't want him to start, buddy. Oz, fantastic show and great listen from new subscriber. Thanks, Oz, mate. Thanks so much, buddy. Thanks so much. All the new viewers, please subscribe. Yeah, cheers, Jamie. Yeah, there's loads of new names tonight. I'm buzzing with this. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Largie will be great in the Premier. Richard, I'm glad you agree. I know you know your ball as well, mate. So, Wilco White, please check him out. I'll probably bang a bit of a community pit that I post out tomorrow morning as well, and get some of these on there just so it's a bit easier, because when you're watching chat and people put links in, you don't always go back to them, do you? But please check out my mates' channels, Wilco White's Passion for Leeds, and Danny Rumsey's channels in here too. There he is. Please check him out. The new subscribers who might not have seen me put these links in before, please check out my mates. There's plenty of content out there for Leeds. Sometimes you might get a bit bored of one voice. And it's good to see other people. So there's so much content. We're dead lucky in this space to have it. Haven't seen the comment about Fart moving on. Could totally change the dynamic of the team in a negative way. Yeah, I suppose it could, bud. Stephen Horseman, Ramazani is larger than life every time. Yeah, he is. He's got everything, hasn't he? You know, I didn't realise. Obviously, he came across really young, and he went at Charlton, come through Charlton's academy, which is how my mate knows him, through playing through Charlton with him. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I didn't expect him what accent he's got. You know, you just hear Largie Ramazani, we're in Spain, and then you hear him talk, just like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. He's just, yeah, he just sounds like us, doesn't he? But he's got everything, and let's be fair, he's got the looks, he's got the name, he's got the skill, he's got that flair about him, he's got the celebration. As a young kid watching, I mean, Theo, he's been to 2 games, I think, and he's got Largie Ramazani's poster on his wall. He just needs to see that backflip once, and he's sold. He's his favourite player. Does he watch a full game? Does he? Heck, he's 6. He don't really care. Largie Ramazani, he hears me say his name, he's all over it, because he's just that player that excites you. We had it with Rutter last season, 2 seasons ago. I was devastated when he left. He's the kind of player you pay your ticket to watch, you know. And I know it's Leeds United, it's not about a player, but you want players to excite you. You want players to put bums on seats, and he's that guy. He's one of them guys. I'm glad. I weren't sure how it'd go this, you know, in terms of people's opinion of Ramazani, especially when I was comparing him to Somerville. When I was saying, you know, will he get minutes in Prem? I think you all knew, you know, we were all in agreement that he ain't going to go. I don't see why you'd leave a Premier League outfit for Scotland. It just didn't make no sense to me. Regardless of him probably being a little bit unhappy with the minutes, you'll back yourself if you're Ramazani. You will back yourself to be able to bridge that gap. Solomon's a great player. There's no guarantee we get him yet, but it's an interesting one. For me, if we don't get Solomon, get a backup to Ramazani. Get someone decent, don't get me wrong. But if Ramazani starts 30 Premier League games next season and we didn't sign Solomon for whatever reason, I ain't going to moan at Ramazani being as number 1. That ain't going to come into my way of thinking. It's not a bad place to be. It's not a bad place to be. Definitely not. Rammer has a sneaky shots outside the box like that rat bastard City had. Yeah, mate, he does. He only needs half a yard, doesn't he, to get a shot away, ain't it? Let's be fair, at Leeds United over years, we've had so many players that tippy-tappy around box. It's so frustrating as a fan. The amount of times you hear at Elland Road, just shoot, just hit it, and they always look for that extra pass. They always want one more pass to Leeds. Don't know what it is. It's in his fucking DNA. It feels like forever. They always want that extra pass. Ramazani, he's got that ruthless streak in him where he'll just have a pop. If it's on, he'll have a pop. And you need that, because we ain't got many. We've had a 10 this season in Aronson, who, for me, he hasn't got the technique right for shooting, which sounds daft as a professional footballer. His technique when he shoots isn't the best. You're not seeing our 10 have shots from outside the area, let alone look like scoring. We don't really even have a shot really from that sort of distance. Ramazani does. Ramazani has a pop. If it's on, he has a pop. Lack of rotation worries me still. Yeah, it does. It does. Like I say, it's not even been negative because I'm a big Farker fan. He has his bit areas that worry me. But I back him to do all right in Prem, I do. But there is elements, and you know, if we get 5 games in and Ramazani's had 10 minutes a game for 5 of them or something, or even less, I'll be fuming. Regardless of how good Solomon's doing, there needs to be a bit more rotation in certain areas. There has to be. Brett Joy, loving the channel, and we'll be joining. Smash the likes and lovely people march on to cheers, Brett. Thanks so much, buddy. Love that, mate. Fish and chips are shite in Oklahoma, Richard. Donny Keys, Ramazani, Callum Wendo. Packs out is a proper front three. If we can get them, it's ambitious, but I think we need to get them with Nonto and James replacing them. Mate, you know what's really nice at minute, Donny? The players we're linked with. And I know we're linked with loads, and I went through them last night with Priestley. Some stupid links out there as well, but the links that are coming through, like the strikers, well, are exciting me. You know, we were linked with Promise David last week and a couple of weeks ago, and we're linked with a new lad today from Hamburg. And I'm enjoying seeing the attributes and the sort of the style it looks like we're going for. Big, strong, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", pacey, strong, physical players who can hold ball up, can win headers. Whether these links are right or not, it appears like we're going a certain route. Someone who's a different profile to Pirro. The wingers, I'm happy with the wingers. I am. Paxao, like you say, is a great player. Nonto, James, Paxao, Ramazani, whoever it is. That fourth one we signed to add to the three. It's just a great mix. The wingers I've never been a problem with. I think we get Solomon, in my opinion, mate. Whether you think he's better or not than Paxao. Not Paxai, I can't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably slating it, but okay, when you look at us in the Prem, there will be better teams than us, but some of them, like City, are becoming old and stale. We are young and an unknown quantity. It's always a good one, that first season, mate, for being unknown in it. Can we emulate what we did under Bielsa? I think not, but I don't see us being in trouble. I don't. I see us staying up, and I don't see it going to the last day. But what do I know? Not much, to be fair. I think Rama will improve for the Prem. His form in La Liga indicates that he can make the step up. There you go, Richard, 100%. People overlook that. They overlook that. Yeah, he hasn't done it. He hasn't done it because he has done it in Champ. He just hasn't done it for enough games, and that ain't his fault. He hasn't played enough minutes in Champ to prove he can do it in Prem. But he's played in La Liga and done it. Is that not a good enough level? Is La Liga not a good enough level? Shall we just take 900 of Messi's goals or 800 of Messi's goals and put them in bin because it wasn't in Prem? Same with Cristiano Ronaldo. Put all his Ballon d'Ors in bin because it wasn't the Prem. You know, La Liga, it's apart from last however many years because Prem's overtook it. La Liga was the place to be a few years back. It's still one of the top leagues in world now, currently, without those big boys in it. So, 100%. When the club's on a winning mentality, the younger players want more. As long as we replace the players leaving with a lot better, I'm sure our scouts will smash it. Just being honestly, they will. Matty, seeing as you pay for your own chat, can you do that for me? Pavukiville. Kelleher going for 18 million, thought that was a bit low. Yeah, lower than we all thought. But I ain't going to cry about it. There's plenty of good keepers out there. Sean says, some great fun in members chat. If you like my wild takes, you'll be in for a treat. Yeah, it's really good on members chat, mate. We're having really good fun in it, aren't we? It's a really nice community I've got on here. A right nice small community I've got on that WhatsApp group for members. I'm dead lucky, man. Thanks so much for all support I get. I'm dead lucky. You sort of just, I don't know how it's sort of, I've just attracted the right my sort of people. I've attracted my sort of people to this space, and I'm buzzing with that. Would you share your Cadbury's double decker with Ramazani, Matty? Mate, you can have it all, pal. You can have it all. Let him have it all, and I'll just lick the wrapper. Don't need any problem players. Fark, don't techie shite. No, he don't take me shite, lad. He don't. Ramazani's my goat. I can't lie. Kid, I'm same. It's mad because Sam Byram and Ramazani are my goat, and how different are them two. I love them both for different reasons. Goalkeeper late in the window for me. I hope not, buddy, but I could see it. Yeah, I could see it. The PSR date being July probably has an impact. It's like Richard potentially say I voice noted Jer earlier, and Jer doesn't think it does. I spoke to Adam, and he spoke to people he knew, and Adam's under the impression it will affect us. Jer's under the impression it won't affect us, or somewhere in between. Maybe we've got to sell up. Maybe we'll have a few outgoings. We're seeing today, aren't we? The Greenwoods and Jabies and Geldarts of this world maybe going out for around 3 or 4 million. Maybe we get rid of them, raise a bit of funds that way. It allows us to bring 1 or 2 in maybe before that deadline. Before that date opens. But we don't need to rush it either. If we start signing players that first week of July, still plenty of time. Still plenty of time to get them ready for middle of August, in it when we kick off in Premier League. So you hear about the Basuma link would be insane. Yeah, I mean, I've loosely heard it, mate. That's not the first time I've heard it with you saying that. I've heard it today, but you heard it in Content Creators Cup group. I can't remember to put it on now. But I don't believe it. I don't believe that one. I think I don't like saying a bit too of a high caliber player, but you know what I mean. I think as a newly promoted side, set Leeds United side for a second, as a newly promoted side, I just don't think Basuma would come to us just yet. I think he's just out of our realms of reach, to be honest, in my opinion. I'd love him though. We won't sign Pope until Newcastle signs. Yeah, I keep thinking, they sign Trafford. If they get Trafford, which I hope they do, the link with him, we get Pope. But is he also an argument that they get Pope, the Burnley? You know, is that an argument that they do that? He's been at Burnley before. Burnley only need a goalkeeper if they sell Trafford to Newcastle. So would it be easier for them to just sort of like liaise a swap deal with money for Trafford? Obviously, money plus. Would that not be easier? So part of me's thinking, yeah, if they get Trafford, but surely there'll be a conversation that Pope goes to Burnley. No, I don't know if I hadn't heard that, but surely that they'd be a rival for Pope's signature, and he's got history there. But on the other flip side of that, who's more likely to stay up? Leeds United. I think Prem starts 2 weeks after Championship. How does it, mate? So I've not looked at that, to be fair. Has been jiggling with the recruitment team at the end of the season too, but I think the PSR dominoes need to fall first. Yeah, and it's sad, isn't it? It's sad we all have to become bleeding accountants, and you know it's all guesswork with money and what can they do, and it's shite. You know, transfer window opens 1st of June. Let's get on with business. But there's all these rules and regulation in place that only matter for the lesser sides that they don't give a shit about. We're massive, but they don't give a shit about us. They only give a shit about the people at the top of Premier League, don't they? You know, your cities who can do what they want and there's no repercussions. Your scum who are absolutely in dire straits. Like, they are fucked financially. They're signing Kuna for 60 million. They're going to sign Mbuemo for 50 million. Just like water off a duck's back. We'll just keep going here. Got leaks everywhere. Rats running around Bleeding Stadium. Yeah, Mbuemo, Kuna. What's all that about? What's all that about? We get to Premier League, we think of sound, we've cracked it. Give us money. Oh, hold on. It's not as easy as that. It's hard, Nick, because I hear conflicting reports all the time. We've got plenty of money to spend, and then why are we spending it? Window don't open till 1st June. Sound. It opens, and then can we actually do it till 1st July? Come on, nah. We're in Premier League. What's all this about? Give us a chance. When are the fixtures out? I can't remember. I got told date, and it's I've lost it, mate. There you go. I'm well behind on chat. I know there'll be someone in there. PSR window defo dictates sales and purchases count on this season just gone. From July, they count for next season. Not buying in January, they may have allowed Leeds some wiggle room. Yeah, that's pretty much what Joe said. Pretty much what Joe said to me. Everton away be a fun with Angus. Yeah, it would. I'm hoping to get to a few away games this season with the Garforth Whites. Robbo, you need this out, don't you, buddy? I'm definitely doing Scum away. Apparently, I don't know how you can guarantee someone a ticket. My mate Danny, he's an away season ticket holder, so he gets every ticket. But I don't know. He's told me it's a guarantee. I don't know how he can guarantee that, but I tell you what, if he does, he'll go above Ramazani. It'll be an awkward love triangle, that. But yeah, I'll be buzzing. So yeah, I'm hoping to get to a few. Won't get to many, but I'm hoping to maybe do 5 or 6 away games this season, as well as hopefully all home games. But I tell you what, it's going to be very difficult to get tickets for Elland Road this season, especially at the start. We'll see how the season goes. You never know, it might drop off a little bit. Yeah, he has been injured. I expected it from Somerville. I expected him to have a couple of knocks and injuries, and I expected it to be a slow transition to Premier League for him. I did. But obviously, you know, you can't help injuries, can you? Especially Ramazani won't go to a tin pot club like Rangers. Scottish Premier several levels below the Championship tour, but yeah, 100%, mate. But I tell you what, he'd light it up. He'd play every minute and he'd score 20 goals plus, wouldn't he? I think it'd be a decent loan for Joseph, although I'd like him to go somewhere else on loan. I think Joseph would go to Rangers and potentially be one of the top scorers in league, one of the top scorers in league. I think he'd do well out there. But then again, does that mean he'd then come back to Leeds a year after and be Prem ready? You know, probably not still. You know, Michael got in the Championship. We got typical style teams with a low mid block. We may not get that in the Prem, opening up chances and space for players like Largie Ramazani, DJ and so on. Yeah, I agree, buddy. I agree. We're going to have to seriously adopt a different way of playing in Prem. We can't play with fullbacks as high as we have played in Championship. We're going to have to. For me, we need to be a threat from corners. We need a set piece taker who can score a free kick or look likely to score a free kick. Someone who can test the goalkeeper from range. We're going to have to find different ways of winning games and scoring goals, because, like you say, it's not going to be as easy as we've had it in this division. You know, being able to play, forward-thinking, attractive, full-flowing football. It ain't happening in Prem. It ain't for me. Harrison to Rangers. I hope so, pal. I hope so. Farker is relatively young manager. who has been learned. I reckon he will surprise. I think he surprised people in Prem. I do. Just because you've not done it before, don't mean you can never do it. Usually, you don't do it first time of asking. Maybe second time of asking. You've got to learn from your mistakes, haven't you? His stubbornness is an issue, but it doesn't mean he can overcome. He can't overcome it. He can't overcome stuff. Of course, he can. Please smash a like. Please subscribe if that's okay. I don't say as much as I have tonight, but there are a lot of new faces in there tonight. Could we be Forest 2.0? Surprise peeps. Who knows, mate? Who knows? Big up from Rochester, New York, bro. All Leeds. Oh, I love that, Matt. Thanks so much, buddy. Hope you're well over there, buddy. I think we take Ronaldo's Ballon d'Ors away regardless, but more because he's a twat. Yeah, man. Promise David and Darko JB both 6'5". Can we accommodate them, or is it just a pipe dream on paper? Probably a pipe dream on paper. I don't think Darko JB is a pipe dream. To be fair, he's not going to make it at Leeds United, in my opinion. Promise David was a risky transfer for 20 million based on where he's playing. Can he transition to Premier League? I'm not sure, but then again, there's so many players out there in around leagues in Europe who are in the top 5 leagues who need an opportunity over here, and a lot of them will work out, a lot of them won't. It's just getting that gamble right, isn't it? I think 20 million on an unproven player, is it a massive risk potentially for Leeds for season up? But on the other hand, it's not a massive fee for a Premier League club. But I'd like to have someone proven. I'd like to have someone who's done it in a top 5 league, but I do like the profile that Promise David, I won't lie. I'm liking the sound of the physical, tall players we are linked with. Also, Ramazani has played 10 in La Liga. That's not thought. Stephen, I'd say it's thought about a lot, but a lot of people disagree and say he can't play in 10 because Farke's not played him in 10. But again, Farke's not played him in 10 because Farke loves Brendan Aronson, for me. Farke's a massive fan of Brendan. He must be. He's a massive fan of Mez. That's evident. He's a massive fan of Mez, or he was, no matter, regardless of his mistakes. And when he's a fan of you, it keeps faith in you, which is brilliant to a degree. Not show loyalty to people, it's brilliant. And you can't show loyalty. The more people that you have in a group, it's harder to spread that loyalty thinly, isn't it? Across many, it's hard. The core group he has, he's very loyal with. No matter what we think, we had it under Bielsa with certain people. Tyler Roberts, it reminds me of the Aronson situation this year with Tyler Roberts. He played him regardless because of what he offered, what he did for the team. We looked at it, we're like, bloody hell, we need a Pablo sort of player, even put Pablo on, instead he was starting Roberts over Pablo because Pablo's legs were going, but you still wanted him over Roberts, and we've seen that with Farke, but the number 10 position for me, you could easily play that. I think it's ludicrous to suggest that because you're a winger and we've not seen you in 10 means you can't play in 10. You're an attacking player. Of course you can play in 10 for me. You're just a different 10. You won't do what Aronson does, but that don't necessarily. You don't have to. In my opinion, if Aronson didn't play in 10 and Ramazani played in 10, I was saying we finished 4th. Nah, maybe we get 100. Maybe we get the points record. Who knows? We'll never know. It's a great conversation. I've clashed with a few people about the whole Ramazani debate because maybe I'm a bit blindsided by how much I love him. Completely agree. He just needs a chance to prove himself in the Premier League. Ramazani, not sure if Farke raised him. Yeah, I agree, Brett. I don't know if he does. What we'll say though is, and a lot of people agree on this, is Farke doesn't really enjoy he doesn't like the. I don't really know how to word it. We saw it under. We saw him have Rutter. A couple of pirouettes, an nutmeg here, a nutmeg there, and he didn't like it. He likes to give the opposition a lot more respect. He doesn't like to rub people's face in it. Sometimes I think he'd rather take a 2-0 than a 5-0. He's all about respect, I think, to a degree, is Farke. And I don't think he likes to showboat. And Ramazani, even down to his celebration. There's a lot about Ramazani that he's brilliant on high. He's a bit of a maverick, is the word I'd use. He's a maverick. And I ain't sure Farke likes mavericks. I think he likes every piece of the jigsaw puzzle to fit perfectly the way he wants it to fit. And I think Ramazani is a bit of an enigma in that sense, in my opinion. That's how I see it. And he won't conform. Do you know what I mean? Not even in a negative. I don't think there's an ego. I don't think there's a problem there. I just think he just is a little bit, is that flair player who needs to be given a bit of a free roll. We saw it with Rutter, and that got the best out of him. If you'd have tried to make Rutter do one thing, it'd have been difficult for him. Some players are fine like that. Aronson's one of them. A lot of players are great, stick in that position. We saw it with Calvin. There's loads of, even players in this current side, there's loads of examples of that. then you get the odd player who you just need to just let go of the leash and let him go express himself, and you'll see the best of him. I think Ramazani is one of them players. I think Solomon, he has elements of that obviously going forward. He's a flair player, he's an attractive player and but I think he'll do more of a solid job that Farke gives him the instruction to do, whereas I think Ramazani does, but I think he's got that bit of flair about him where he'll play the game as he sees it, as opposed to how he's told to see it, in my opinion. Basuma overrated. I think for a newly promoted team, mate, it'd be great. Leeds need to get Cooper, put Mez in the deal. imagine if we got Cooper and Mez went to Sheffield United, how good that'd be. Daryl Harris, great channel, fella. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Daryl. Means a lot, that buddy. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. I'm so itching for that first signing. I know, mate. I know. What we need is City's lawyers. We do, Michael. We do. We'll be fine, won't we? Well, I've got to make my tea. Take care, everyone. I wish I could kiss you all individually. Sweet dreams. Guarantee, mate, you've probably already gone. But Jamie, thank you so much, buddy. Have a good one, buddy. And I'll catch you on the next one. I seriously think Harrison stays if we don't get Solomon. Sounds wild, doesn't it, that, Danny? Honestly, sounds like you're swearing at me, pal. Sounds like stop swearing at me. It is a worry. It is a worry. The amount of positions I kind of feel we've got to make additions in. And there is a lot, and I love this side, but there is a lot of surgery needed. Is that a position technically now? Currently, now we've got four wingers. We've lost Solomon, we've got Harrison back. Got 4 wingers. Do we need another one? Schmidt can play on wing. We've seen he's played wing more than his fullback role, but we all thought he'd come for. So you could say we've got 4 + 1, 4.5, 5. Do we keep Harrison? He's a totally different profile. He's a left footer. The other 3 are right footers. It's a worry, I won't lie. I don't think we do it, though. I don't think we do it, in my opinion. But it's a possibility. It might be nice to visit the new Toffee Stadium and the immense Spurs ground. Yeah, Michael, there too. I'd really love to. I've been to St James's Park before for the rugby, for the Magic Weekend, and watched the Leeds Rhinos. But I'd love to go to St James's Park. These are ones that are on my list. St James's Park, Anfield. I've worked at Anfield. I worked at new stand, putting new cameras and installing the cables for the cameras above. What a view that was. But I want to do Newcastle, Liverpool, Everton, Tottenham, Scum. They're the 5 I would like to do. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. If I'm honest, Sunderland as well. I'd love to do Sunderland. Andy Rowe with Kelleher, goalkeeper value diminishing, big style. Does that mean make Mellier's value come down? Maybe, mate. I mean, what do we view Mellier's value to be? If any, I think it sounds mad, but 5, 7, 8. You'd have been hoping, before the ball was kicked last season, 15, 20 maybe. I think that comes way down. And then you see Kelleher at 18. What? He's got to be in between 5 and 10 for Mez, hasn't it? It's got to be. Can't be any more than 10 if Kelleher's only 18. In my opinion. Although Liverpool's valuation of Kelleher won't impact Leeds United's valuation of Meslier. Might impact what people will actually practically buy him for and think he's worth. But I don't think Leeds United will look at Kelleher and go, we'll have to put Meslier on for 7 because he's 18. It won't impact Leeds. Leeds, they'll break it down. They'll look at his contract. They'll look what he's done. Look at his experience. They'll look at how many years he's got left in game for how many games he's played, and they'll come up with a figure. And that's even if they're looking to sell him. Who knows? Who knows what we're thinking? It's 49ers. Who knows? All I'll say is whatever they do, they normally get it right. And I say this every stream, don't I? But I fully expect Mez to go out. But the value of Mez is going to be really interesting to see, buddy. I mean, if we get anything even around the 12, 13, 14 million pound mark for Meslier, which if he single-handedly took the 5, 6 huge errors out he's made this season, which is enough to make a career like sort of guff highlight reel in one season for a whole career, really, innit? But if you took them out, you'd be thinking around 15 million for him, probably. 3 years ago, you're probably thinking he's 30, 40 million player at one point, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I like the idea of players, but please no 50p heads. Well, Pascal went through a period of time being a bit of a 50p head, didn't he? But he has got better. Those 2 goals against Sunderland may prove that. We do need a strong player near Tanaka, as he will be targeted by Prem teams. He needs someone shadowing him, yeah. It's hard because, like we talk about Sentiment FC and all that stuff, like I'd love Firpo to stay. That's not happening now, I'm pretty sure. But like even in terms of like being blindsided by thinking players are better than what they are, right? So Tanaka, I've even said like, could Tanaka be another Rafinha? Different player, obviously different position. Could Tanaka be that next player that we've signed for, really cheap, plays a couple of years and then moves on to a side in Europe? I'm not saying a bigger club, but a club who are more further down that line than what we are. Could he move on there and be a top player? He looks like he's got the attributes. I think a club in Europe, a club in the Champions League, playing Champions League football, would look at Tanaka and see the value in, especially being Japanese, because that does matter. The marketing side of stuff and the money you bring in shirt sales, that all matters. First and foremost, you got to be a good player. He ticks that box. It'll be really interesting to see how he goes in Prem, because you've got him and you've got Dan James, who I've lauded. Rodon, James, Tanaka are the three unnegotiables when it comes to selling players. They're the three for me you cannot sell, but also they're the three of I believe we'll do it in Prem, but based on what? You know what I mean? What is that based on? Based on how good they were in Champ? There's question marks, I suppose, against them all. Can they step up? I believe they can, and I can't wait to see them three have a go in Prem. Like, to see Tanaka and Rodon and James, I feel like Rodon and James have got unfinished business in Prem, and I feel like Tanaka, all Leeds fans now are just waiting to see if he can do what we all believe he can do. Are we negotiating deals in the background but not making it official? Potentially, we'll speak about this in group chat earlier, but potentially it can all be done, can't it? You can have it sort of done, sign a disclaimer and all that, and have it sort of like boxed off ready. We saw it with Aronson, didn't we, when we signed Aronson? As soon as Leeds were promoted, we knew we'd got him, and I think it officially went through a week or a month or so later, didn't it? It can happen. Let's hope they are doing that, because if PSR is a problem, which I don't think it is, but if it is, and we are waiting further down the line, the teams that don't have that problem are snapping up the players out there that we want, that are on our list, and we'll be crossing names off left, right, and centre, and we'll be left with what's left. Whatever happens, we mustn't sign Phillips. What's your thoughts, buddy? I don't want you to unsubscribe, so I'll say no, even though yeah, it's a better move for Phillips joining Leeds than it is for Phillips joining us, mate. It's the best version of Calvin Phillips would be discovered at Leeds, but I don't think the best version of Calvin Phillips now, where he's in his career, is what Leeds need. For one, I don't think his profile fits us. We currently have three. Tanaka, who does the defensive work, but I think can do it all. But notoriously, he has, he's played in that sort of role. Ampadu, for me, is what we'd expect Calvin to be, a defensive midfielder. Gruev's a defensive midfielder. We've lost Rothwell, who's a progressive ball-carrying midfielder who breaks the lines, who gets the ball and drags us up the field, takes set pieces. That in Calvin, we need a better Rothwell for me. And I love Rothwell, but we need a better Rothwell. We need that profile. For me, we don't need Phillips. Phillips needs Leeds, though. Phillips needs Leeds, or he ain't going to get anywhere near whatever his ceiling now is, which is significantly lower than it was 3 or 4 years ago. He can only reach his full potential now at our club for me, because he'll get that love back, which will probably give him that couple of percentile more which will bring him on, I think. But his body won't hold up. Regardless of that, which we all know is injury concerns, everyone goes on about that. Regardless of that, the profile don't fit for me, mate. So I'd say no. But if we sign him and 49ers believe it's the right decision, I can get on board with it. And it's an emotional thing. I love Calvin. We all love him. He's a great person. He's a great human being. He's humble. So there's pros and cons to everything, but I just aren't sure it's what we need, mate. And if I'm honest, I think it's a lazy link. I believe if we'd have gone up via Wembley the season before last, I believe he'd have been a Leeds player last year, if I'm honest. So I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility, but in my opinion, I'd probably stay clear. The away end at St James's Park, the steps never end. Yeah, it's well steep, mate. It's well steep. KP room will be, yeah, I've seen that, mate, yeah. Behave, Matty, don't say Tanaka will be sold. Mate, he ain't going to retire at Leeds United, is he, pal? He ain't. I always state, right, and I hope he does, but I always state, when you're in Championship, all you think about is Premier League. When you're in Premier League, all you think about is Champions League or Europe nights, playing in Europe, Europa League, whatever. So we saw that with Rafinha. I know he didn't play for us in Champions League, but in Championship, but you have him. You have a player of that caliber who can make that step up. You join a side like Leeds who are newly promoted. Realistically, the goal is to get to European football, but it could be 3 to 5 years away. I'm sure every team in Premier League has a plan, don't they? Even your Palaces and anyone who goes up, they'll have a plan. They'll have a when they get a new manager or getting players, they'll have a plan in place, which is right. This is where we want to be next year. Consolidate, and then we want to be there in 5 years. We want to be in top 6, top 8. 90% of people don't get there, but that'll be the plan. Thing is, once you're in Premier League and you're not there, and 2 years pass, and then someone comes in for you who's in Europe and Leeds a mid-table, not looking like they're going to break that next, make that next step. That's what I'm worried about with Tanaka, Sean. That's what worries me, and you know that too. No, Calvin, Brett Joy again. Now our owners have got Rangers. Can this be a good thing, especially from a player crossover situation, or will it take the owners away from Leeds? I'm unsure. Yeah, no, it won't take them away, mate. It's a totally separate pot of money. It's a different a group of people. I know Rangers is a huge club. I don't follow Scottish football, but everyone knows it's common knowledge. Rangers, Celtic is a huge club. They play in Europe a lot more than Leeds United play in Europe. They're going to be in Europe every year, pretty much. Let's be fair, it's a 2-horse race over there, pretty much every year. But the standard isn't there. The money definitely isn't there. You'd be daft to focus all your attention on a team that plays in that league over a Premier League club. So not only is it different personnel, mate, overseen by Parag, yeah, but there's no way the eyes getting taken off the ball when it comes to Leeds United stuff. No way, mate. Danny, I think Tanaka is a little slight in the body. I think your bog midfielders will be on him. But this is football brain could work for it. Yeah, he's got a great. You said it to me on a voice yesterday. He's got a great football IQ, great IQ. I think he'll be fine. I think he's a very physical player, despite his slightness. These players, mate, who are always physically built, but still have that strength and engine on them to get around pitch and still be effective in Premier. I think he'll be fine. Trafford to Newcastle has gone quiet. Could be a PSR thing for them, of course. Maybe Newcastle need to sell first. They've got Dubravka, they've got Pope. Maybe they need to get rid of one first, maybe. Maybe that'll play into our hands. It makes you think that when James was at Fulham with Solomon, they were rated 3rd and 4th choice wingers for them, but look at them now. It's scary. Yeah, it is, mate. It is. Yeah, I forgot about Solomon. Yeah, they were, weren't they? I hope Ampadu doesn't slow the ball down the Prem like he did in the Champ, because he will get caught out badly. Yeah, he will. He's got to improve. But anyone who thinks Ampadu won't be a starter for me, I think you need to get that in your head that it will be. Tanaka starts, and I think Ampadu does. Is that a worry potentially? But I do like Ampadu. Getting KP back nuts to salty, especially after the crew. Yeah, that's the thing, mate. Seen him every bit of them crutches. Seen on stage at Temple Newsam for Kaiser Chiefs, one as well. In a boot, he's gonna miss all pre-season, and for anybody to take a gamble on Calvin Phillips anyway, it could be a huge mistake, right? For anyone to gamble on Calvin Phillips, who's currently injured and won't even seek training pitch during pre-season, so he's already behind all other players by a month or two. It's lunacy at that point, really. So I think what he needs to do is just, he'll stay at City for me. Do his rehab, get to January, and try and get a move in January somewhere. On loan in January, if you need him by that point, you might have an injury or two. Maybe Ampadu's not worked out in Prem, maybe Gruevan. Maybe in January you take a punt on him on loan, maybe. But right now, I just don't see no why you do it. Any word on Firpo signing his offer? No, but isn't it something to do with reduced terms, why he hasn't jumped at the chance? Richard Hogan, Matty, are you looking forward to Dublin? How long will you be over for them land game? I'm really, really happy for it, Richard. I can't wait. So me and the missus, we fly from Liverpool because it was a lot cheaper. So we fly from Liverpool on the Friday at 3 p.m, arrive in Dublin at 3:55 apparently. And then I can't remember where we're staying now. We're staying in a hotel about 15 minutes from Darren's wife's mum and dad's house. So we're staying there. Apparently, it's about a 15-minute bus ride to Dublin, but about a 50-minute train journey, I think, to the Aviva Stadium. But we stay there Friday. So I'm going to make the Friday a little bit more about me and the missus, go for something to eat, go, watch some Irish music in bars. I love me acoustic bands and singers, and I love it. Like I do, me, I do a bit of singing myself. I enjoy a good sing song. So that'll be the Friday night. And then Darren's picking us up on the Saturday morning from all the Leeds bros, and we're spending the day with Darren, Dillo, their partners, their wives, Jer Lynch as well. I think we're all going to the game together, meeting up with some other people. Meeting up with Becky J from people might know off TikTok, meeting up with Billy South Stancam, meeting up with Eddie Rusty Tincan. There's going to be loads of us meeting up. It's going to be a class day, and then we go back on Sunday morning, mate, at about 10 o'clock in the morning. So not up too early. So Friday to Sunday, a couple of nights away, and we don't get to do much with kids and stuff. Away from kids, sorry, but we've got our lasses cousin going to watch them for a couple of days, so it's absolutely banging, mate. I can't wait. Somebody said if you get Phillips, you better build a new hospital, not a new stadium. Rangers, biggest club in Scotland, says my mate Danny. They're on about Gerrard going to manage Rangers. Well, again, Rangers are good, bit behind Celtic in Scotland. Don't think they have many Premier players. No, I agree. I don't think they do. 49, I hope Bob up you well, mate. 49ers will sell Joseph, Gruev, Melier, Greenwood, all to Rangers for twice their worth, playing the Chelsea and Forest PSR game. Interesting to see how it goes, won't it? Be very interesting to see how it goes. For me as well, you know what it is? This is a gulf, and I don't want to offend any people who like the Scottish Stand League or whatever. I'm sure a lot of you agree it's not nowhere near the level. I honestly think if Greenwood and Joffrey went to Rangers, they'd probably get decent minutes. I think they would the start. Maybe Greenwood and Joffrey would the start at Rangers. Maybe. I'm going to check this. 86 votes. Thanks so much, guys, for getting involved in that. 77% of you have said Largie Ramazani has a higher ceiling than Crescencio or Somerville. 77% of 86 votes. Wow. Right, Paul there. Says it all well, hasn't it? So, mate, I'm not going into it. Yeah, Danny. Matty comes back, the car. Yeah, mate, I love Liverpool City Centre, you know. I love it. Outside Leeds, I absolutely love City Centre. I know there's been what happened last week was awful. But as a city full of culture and full of, you know, music and like, I really enjoy going on a night out, basically. I like going to Liverpool for that. Me and the wife have gone there for a few weekends and stuff. I'm a big fan of nightlife in Liverpool. It's my sort of place, as is Dublin. I've been to Dublin twice, Temple Bar. I've done all the sightseeing. I've done the Dublin factory, the Guinness factory, and all that. I absolutely love it. I love live music, bands, acoustic singers. I love all that. I love going pub to pub and hearing music and everyone dancing, having a good time. So Dublin appeals to me. Liverpool's like that. Liverpool, right? You can go for a Greggs on a Wednesday at 12 o'clock. You leave building site, you go for a Greggs. 12:30, you sat on a bench in City Centre having your Greggs, and you look and there's just a bar. And it's 12:30 on a Wednesday afternoon, and it's full. People are hammered like they've been in there since fucking following Wednesday. And you've got someone singing and you think, wow, this is insane. I ain't going back to work. And you end up sat in your work gear with your screwdrivers and your snip still in your pocket, with a sausage roll in your pouch, watching someone with a pint. It's class. How can you not like that? But we won't see much of Liverpool. We literally did it just for the cost, really. We should have booked to go to Dublin before the tickets come out, but we didn't, because I didn't think, I thought it would be a bit of a pipe dream. I went going, but we did. Take Raskin off them. Yeah, I'd love that, mate. He's a player I really like. Be quirky. I find it funny how people get so sentimental for Calvin, but when Gruev was crying his eyes out, losing player final, they still want him as one of the first sold. Fair point. He wants it. You know, he loves the club, does Gruev, but there's always going to be more sentiment for someone like Calvin, homegrown, come through the system. But I do remember a time when Calvin were getting some pelters when he were playing before Bielsa come in. People wanted him sold. I remember we sold Ronaldo Vieira, didn't we? Vieira sold it to Sampdoria for about 5 million. I'm gutted. A lot of people who I spoke to agree, thought that he was a better option out of him and Calvin. Obviously, it turned out not to be true. He hadn't done no since leaving. But yeah, it's hard to compare. But I get your point there, mate. Of course, Romer's higher ceiling than Somerville is. Man U, Scumlaw, that's the one, Brett. First game of the season and our first win, yes, getting. How good would that be, mate? Honestly, it would be fantastic. I want an easy fixture. I don't want Liverpool. I don't like that, you know, a tough fixture to start with. So yeah, give us Scum at home. I'd like that. Nice, easy one to start season off. I like to go to Liverpool once a year to visit my hubcaps. Mate, I absolutely love Liverpool. It's class. It's a great city centre. You can buy your own helicopter. Matty, if you do have time, do the Croke Park tour. I don't think I'll get time, mate, if I'm honest. Darren did say that, though, to me too. He said it's a decent thing, but I won't get time on Sunday. The Saturday's taken up with football, and like I said, I won't get probably to hotel till probably 5 o'clock when Friday night. And I do want to get, as expensive it is, I do want to potentially get to Temple Bar to show the missus around there, if I'm honest. But yeah, maybe next time. But I don't have Murphy's in Dublin. It's really, I don't drink Murphy's anyway. I don't like Guinness over here, and I'd never had it before until I went to Dublin. I went to Dublin, first time 7 years ago-ish, something like that. And it's not a myth. It's really nice when you're in Dublin. It's really nice, really smooth. Yeah, so I'll be on Guinness, which I'll also love it when I'm pumping. Guinness pumps, as you all know. I've caught up with the comments. I was getting a bit stressed tonight, thinking at 1 minute I was about 16 minutes behind on chat, and I was like, this ain't going to end in. I wanted to do it about an hour and a half. I ain't going to get there with this one. But yeah, I think I've had quite a few subscribed tonight, which has been lovely. I've had a lot of new people in chat. I really appreciate it. I wasn't going to do a live tonight, and then I really want to speak about Largie Ramazani because I hadn't had the opportunity to really talk about him. Spam the comments. I haven't really had an opportunity just to hone in on him, really. But obviously, there's a lot of just rumours out there that, people have got to talk about. You know my stance on all that. You talk about what you want to talk about, regardless if people have got a problem with it, you just don't watch. But I thought this was nice to sort of speak about Largie Ramazani on the whole, looking at him, comparing him to, last season sort of with Somerville and Jaden Anthony, and sort of looking at it from a different standpoint, really, and getting your opinion on whether you think he'll work in Prem. And it's class. Look at that. Get in there. Happy 1 month. 1 month as a member. I didn't even know that'll pop up like that. I'm buzzing with that. Has that only popped up now, Sean, because you've literally just done it like to the second? You've just become a member for a month? Or could you have flagged that up at any point during the stream? I'm just interested. Danny talks about, cheers, Matthew. Matthew, great stream as always. Thanks so much, buddy. Calvin is loved so much because he was Bielsa on the pitch, to be fair. Great as always. Cheers, Aina, my friend. You're always here, mate. Top support, thank you. Jammy, there he is, love. Oh, you enjoyed your tea, my friend. Murphy's only villa in Cork. Matty, whilst in Ireland, goes to the Titanic Museum. Sean, is the Guinness really better in Ireland? Slip of barley wine. I'll tell you what, all right. I got right onto Guinness when I was in Dublin last time, and I loved it. Then I came over here, I didn't like it, so I started adding blackcurrant to it, and it was palatable. But it didn't last long. Then I went off it, and I don't really drink it now. But when I'm in Dublin again, I will definitely be drinking it. See if wife will drink it as well, but I doubt she will. I thought Healy had gifted a membership then. I don't even understand any of that. I just know if you want to become a member, we have great cracking WhatsApp group, and you know how I felt about adding memberships. I was well umming and ahhing about it. But if I'm honest, I wanted to do something. It's sort of like the next stage, for talking to other creators or other people who have YouTube channels, and the sort of, it's the next sort of bit to do. And I did it, and I definitely don't agree with paying to get extra content. I don't agree with that. I don't like people have Patreons. I don't like how people can't watch it who support you and have watched you for maybe longer than other people based on. I don't like that. But I think putting a membership in, which a lot of people do, they all do it really. And having a WhatsApp group makes it a little bit more personal, a little bit more private. You get to, hear me give voice notes throughout the day and everybody else. It's class, man. I'm so happy I did it, basically. And if it stays just our little core group of 8, which is what I think I've got, like I say, I'm buzzing with it. It's great cracking it, Sean. It's great crack. You know what it's good for? We had, I was speaking to Boss Nass today. Obviously, his Seasiders TV does his non-league channel. And he hasn't really got no Leeds United mates. And we've got Mike on there as well, who's from Bolton. They've got no Leeds United mates. If you're out of the scene, if you're not, in and around Leeds born and bred, and you haven't got friends who are Leeds fans, and I think it's a great little community to get involved with. I really do. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Dead lucky. I peeled my boiled eggs, Richard. Just now every month it comes up. It was nice to see it pop up, actually. I was buzzing with that. Pitta is on 15k a week, Greenwood and Joffrey on 30. What? I know. Really? Wow. Mad. Yeah, that is true. The storehouse, I can't remember what I paid, but you get to the top, and you get pour yourself a pint and all that. You get a free pint at the top, even though it's not free because you paid to go in. And the make out, that's the best pint, but it's not the best pint at all in Dublin. But it's a nice tour. I enjoyed tour. I joined the WhatsApp group, but I'm on iPhone and won't do it for some reason. Yeah, I don't understand why it does that, mate, with join button. I really don't know why it does that, buddy. I really don't. Because you can still do it even though you're on iPhone, but I don't know how you get around it. Anyways, don't worry about it. We speak anyway. You get voice notes off me anyway, don't you? You don't need to be on WhatsApp group. If you don't agree to get extra content, I'm paying for more content in WhatsApp group. Yeah, I don't know, Danny. It's just the next stage of having a YouTube channel, I guess, mate. It's just what I would sort of advise to do, and I really didn't want to just have to do more content, and not provide that content to others who weren't a member. But I think the WhatsApp group's just a nice personal touch. Obviously, you wouldn't normally give your phone number out to 100 strangers, would you? Do you know 100 people you've only met online? You wouldn't do that. So it's a little bit more personal, where if you were on it, you'd probably agree. Boss Nass said today, for price of a pint for a month, it's great as this. Guinness is best with a double tier. Yeah. When I went in Dublin last time, there were a Hindu, and they were all drinking that, mate. They were all drinking that. What's that? Baby Guinness as well. Is that Guinness and Baileys, is it? Baby Guinness is something like that. Drop a like on vid for Leeds pre-season win against Scum. My mate Danny's going out, Garth of Whites. I wish I could go there. Be class that. Can't beat a real beer from a proper pub. Sam Smith pub round the... Yeah, Sam Smith pubs haven't been one of them for years, easy, but yeah. Matty's next big thing in Leeds United content creators. Mark my words, see you all more closely. Thanks, Jamie. You say the nicest stuff, buddy. Yeah, thank you, mate. I'm buzzing if I stay like this. I've had 80 to 100 people in this live tonight. That's incredible for me. I love it. Pedo 15k is a pittance in comparison to some. It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. How it divides a change. It's mad that it hasn't, though, isn't it? It's mad how it hasn't. Fair enough. Black Velvet. Baby Guinness is a shot of Guinness and Baileys, I think. Yeah, I'm sure it is, mate. Michael Smithwick's is a great Irish ale. Did a class ad with the late Toto. Yeah, you know your stuff, you, bud. You know your stuff. When the new shirt's coming out, Mate? I don't know the official date, but what I will say is Jer mentioned earlier to me that with all the transfer speculation and stuff and the fans getting a little bit when we're going to sign someone, he wouldn't be surprised if the new home shirt is out in the next couple of weeks, and then there'll be a few weeks and then the away shirt it comes. So I'm thinking in a couple of weeks, just based on that, I'm thinking in a couple of weeks we'll see the new home shirt. We normally see it leaked, don't we? On some hanger in some store from some shop around the world, and it normally is right. So I would assume if we're going to see it in a couple of weeks, I would assume we'd start to see the leaked version of it in the next week or so. I hope. I'm excited for the away one because apparently it's a throwback to the the blue and yellow Strongbow one, which I always remember about Viduka wearing. So I'm hoping that's the crap with that. Top numbers and top live. Thanks, Brookie, mate. Is it true team who sell Leeds merchant for a pittance? Maybe. They sell everything, don't they, there? You can buy a blow-up Priestley doll on there, I think. Haven't decided about the Aviva yet. I'm at a festival the weekend before, but hoping to go to the game. Yeah, it'd be lovely to meet you, Richard, to be fair. It'd be class to meet you there. I think, obviously, I don't know your circumstances, but I think you're bonkers if you don't, mate. I think it's going to be class. It's going to be like, obviously, it's probably more for us. We're travelling over there. It's going to feel like a European night, isn't it? Well, for me anyway, like travelling on a plane and going to a game against AC Milan, like it's sort of like a bit of a dream that I'm even doing it. If I'm honest, I can't believe I'm doing it. I'm buzzing, but yeah, I think you'll kick yourself if you don't go, pal. First signing coming by Friday, I'm sure. I hope so. Joe Lynch is Leeds United News, and Leeds United News is Joe Lynch. He is, mate. He is the GOAT now. He is the GOAT. If the shirt is a couple of weeks, I see a statement signing or two before then. I hope so, mate. Maybe unveil it with the new player holding the shirt. That would be nice. Yeah, maybe, Danny. Is the Aviva sold out? No, it's not sold out, mate. It's 50,000 seater Stadium. Is that how many sold? Well, so it's not sold out, but it's pushing it. Last I heard it were at 20, but that was a fair few days ago. New shirts around 18th of June, buddy. New black away strip, apparently prefer yellow in fairness. Is the black away strip the third kit or the away kit, though? Because I heard it were going to be the blue and yellow strongbow throwback sort of Viduka early 2000s. So that's what I sort of heard. I'm hoping that were true, but I have seen something about a black kit as well, but I thought that might be in the third kit, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll tell you what, Brett, they nailed it this season with a away kit, mate. Nailed it. I would love the smiley badge to be on the home kit this year. Is that a bit too, is that not going to happen? Probably not. But yeah, the smile, I do love the smiley badge. Yeah, look at that, beauty in it. Beauty. Black is there. I thought so, Danny. I thought I'd be surprised if it were the away kit. But yeah, they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. So right, guys. That's me done. That's me done. Stop bloody talking to me. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much for coming along with me tonight. Really appreciated it. I wasn't going to do anything, but I did. And I'm a waffler, so I'm still going. But yeah, take care, everyone. Have a great Tuesday. Just so you know, before I go, Late Night Leeds will be back this Friday, right? Adam isn't going to be on it for the next 3 weeks. He goes to Florida on Monday. He can't do it this Friday. We'll be back, I think, around 27th of June to start smashing that out every week. But me and Sean have got a bit of something different lined up for you. We've got to do a lot of research for it, a lot of digging, and that ain't my forte, so bear with me on Friday. It's not going to be a regular Late Night Leeds, but it is Late Night Leeds. Me and Sean, Wilco Weiss, will be bringing you something a little bit different, hopefully something fun, interactive as always on Friday. So yeah, but I'll be back before Friday, you know me. But yeah, thanks so much. Sweet dreams to you too. Night, Matty, top stream, thanks so much. Brett, thank you for dropping in, man. Loved it. MLT and all. Night, everyone. Yeah, go to bed, I am. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you soon. Have a great week.